I'm attempting to determine what it is that ranks humans in their class structure. I'd assumed the color of your blood would serve as the basis for placement in the hierarchy, as would be expected and natural, but I was mistaken. I was similarly in error, believing the color of what you type corresponds with the color of your blood.
It does, bro. My blood's red.
Well, obviously. I understand that now. I'm not a fool.
On Earth, class is sorted out by who can drop the most delirious flow.
I see. So, in other words, a sort of bloodletting ritual to assess whose pulse is steadiest and thus whose flow is the most strong.
No. Well, yeah. Verbal pulse. Rap battles. The kings of word tech ascend to godhood and look down on us patriarchally like urban watermarks in the sky. This is like our religion, man. It's fucking serious business. It's like what our whole culture revolves around.
Really? So your social echelons are dictated by the noble art form of the ancient slam poets, or the Earth equivalent?
Yeah, well, used to be dictated. Till the rapocalypse happened. I still believe, though, in my heart, so long as it keeps thumping the righteous beat, subwoofing out devotion every which way, that he will come. Our Savior was foretold he'd come after meteors show up to drop it like it's hot. And he'd gather up the ashes of our civilization and lift it like it's heavy. Fuck, man. I'm tearing up. My eye shades are gonna fry.
I believe that this is probably nonsense. I've already been hornswoggled repeatedly by your comrades, who I quite reasonably mistook for your superiors in bloodline. Your race makes a habit of deception, and I will not tolerate it. You will stop. I command that all verbal misdirection and hoofbeast play will cease during my communications. Is that understood?
Douche.
Did I say something entertaining?
If you're gonna spit that kind of bravado at me, I'm just saying, put it in rhyme. Let's hear what you got, Toolie McSnoothole.
I tried to stay engaged with many aristocratic practices, but I'm not much of a poet.
Come on.
My poems are private.
Whatever, dude. Deprivatize them.
If you're prepared to be particularly forceful about it, I may be suitably disgusted to comply.
Just take whatever's in there. That bro rage lust you're feeling, turn that bitch inside out like a broke-ass millionaire's pockets.
Yes, these are the sorts of assertive statements which could get me flowing.
Alright, weird, but alright. You sound wound up, but my gears are airtight. Steer clear of the seer in the night if you're scared of unfair fights. You'll drop like the staircase impaired, seeing him spared's a fair fucking rare sight. For poor eyes like that millionaire's whose pockets I mocked earlier, he's paradoxically me, but richer and surlier. Broke as his sword before his stock pick skyrocketed, worth more than all the chest lock-picked and gold crock bricks and boombox I pickpocketed. Filling folios with millions I'm milking to pad out my pockets, more chock full than sad Trollian villains clogging my block list. So thoughtful to populate my slate with propositions to copulate the spate of hemerotic hot picks, which I posit you got shit of that nature in spades as my shades got you locked in, spying a guy who's eyed more cocks and dicks than I got clocks and they got ticks.
Just a thought, let's mock a topic with less awfulness. If you'd use the excuse to be less culturally myopic, what are your views on the abuse to the walking apocrypha? Would you choose if duly cued to put your bruising clop to a flock of naughty robotics?
Wow, yes. Don't really understand that, but yes. Okay, hold that thought. I'm gonna pull this fucking sword out of the thing.
Perhaps it's that it's martial tactics that matter for status, unless you redact this. I'd hazard in practice that it's a glass of what's lactic that would impact this. Pragmatic to presume, a human metric for grandness stands on fondness and honest, for wanton aplomb with strapping song-smithing, ripping sonnets of strongness!
Yes. Still no clue what this shit means, but keep going.
But perhaps, to define class divides an unclassified swine as butchering time. Your fauna, I find, requires too little strength to savage and rhyme. I fear inferiors have monopolized my highest priorities. Let's eschew crude inferiors, pursue nude superiorities, review zoological peculiarities, great stalking enormities, flexing in unison, baying at moons with fraternal sororities.
Holy shit. What?
Great muscle beasts tussle, buxom and heft with thunderous muscle and buttock to speck.
What the fuck?
Connect blows to discover how invincible pecs are. Venture low to uncover his inimitable nectar.
God, okay, just stop.
Should song serve to placate one, and fortune holds he lactate some, strong hands tugging teat make great ambrosia collectors.
Jesus, dude. Okay, maybe you're actually the worst troll. I'm thinking none of that was actually ironic. That was all pretty straight up, wasn't it?
What do you mean? Are you ordering me to conceal my poems again?
Never mind. God damn it. Fucking piece of shit sword. Won't goddamn budge, probably useless anyway.
It looks to be a legendary weapon.
It's a legendary piece of shit.
Giving up on the treasure so easily? It strikes me as an artifact rooted in universal lore of nobility. As valuable an asset as strength is, and as much as anyone with his wits is fond of being strong, such weapons require finesse to operate, and surely in this case, to retrieve without damaging. Hence your no doubt frustrating restraint.
Okay, I'm kinda starting to wonder why you're bugging me now. You're a fucking creepy dude.
Excessive force will shatter such weapons. We both know this from experience.
What?
The adult human who trained you and taught you the ways of being strong. Remember?
You mean the guy who spent years beating my ass down with a puppet? Yeah, I remember.
Yes, and now, being learned in the ways of strongness, you, like myself, are unfortunately limited in the weaponry you may wield. Ironically, the training which has ennobled you beyond others has made instruments of high blood brittle in your hands, hence the state of your favored weapon hobbling your specibus. I know what this is like.
Man, I'm not that strong, okay? Just because I broke a cheap-ass sword doesn't make me the fucking Hulk.
Oh.
What, did you go around breaking a bunch of swords too?
No. Bows.
How the fuck do you even wield a broken bow? Did you go around clubbing shit with the two halves?
Yes. Sometimes. What are you doing?
What's it look like?
Careful about succumbing to these sorts of destructive urges. Addiction is a powerful thing.
So am I. Bow down before your new king, bitch.
I think I need something to dry myself off with. Oh, that's better.